Welcome dear students. Today we will learn about decimals. Look at this number. This number is 65.894. The point in between them is called a decimal point. Before decimal, the number is a whole number. After decimal, the number is a fractional number. So a decimal number has two parts, whole number part and fractional part. Look at another example. It is 25.386. Yes, we have to read it as 25.386 and not as 25.386 because when we read a decimal number, we should read the digits after decimal separately. So 2 is on 10th place, 5 is on 1's place, that we know already. After this there is a decimal number. After decimal number, the first place is called 10th place. The second place is called 100th place and the third place is called 1000th place. So after decimal, the places are 10th, 100th and 1000th. Now when we read a decimal number, every digit towards right is 10 times smaller than the previous digit. For example, if we will look at this number, 5 is 10 times smaller than 2 because 5 is on 1's place and 2 is on 10's place. So because of the place value of 5, it is 10 times smaller than 2. The same rule applies after decimal also. It means 8 is 10 times smaller than 3 and 6 is 10 times smaller than 8. Similarly, if we will move towards left, every digit towards left is 10 times bigger than the previous digit. For example, 2 is 10 times bigger than 5, 3 is 10 times bigger than 8 and 8 is 10 times bigger than 6. Now this is the decimal place value chart. The numbers before decimal have the fixed place value that we have studied in the previous classes also, that is ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. After decimal point, the first place is called 10th place. The 10th place is represented by 1 upon 10 in the fractional way. But if we have to write in the decimal form, it is 0.1. That is the first place after decimal. The next place is called 100th place, which can be represented as 1 upon 100 as a fractional part. And if we have to write this in decimal, it can be written as 0.01. That is, 1 is on second place after decimal, representing the 100th place. If we have to represent a decimal number in a pictorial form, so here is an example which is 17.48. Here 17 is the whole number part. It means we have 17 wholes. The 17 wholes can be represented by 17 whole squares. Now 4 is on 10th place. It is representing 4 out of 10. For representing 4 parts out of 10 equal parts, we have divided a rectangle into 10 equal parts, out of which we have shaded 4 parts. It is representing 4/10. Now 8 is on 100th place, which is representing 8 out of 100. 8 out of 100 means 8 parts out of 100 equal parts. For this, we have divided a big square into 100 small squares. Out of these 100 squares, if we will shade 8 small squares, it will represent 8/100th. Now let us look at some examples. Here the example is 2 upon 10. 2 upon 10 is 2/10. It means 2 is on 10th place. 10th place is the first digit after decimal, which is 0.2. And the rule says whenever we have nothing before decimal, we should always write a 0. Now to represent 2/10, we have to divide a rectangle into 10 equal parts, out of which 2 parts has to be shaded, representing 2/10. Next fraction is 9 upon 100. 9 upon 100 showing 9 is on 100th place. It means 9 has to be the second digit after decimal. which is 0.09. The rule says when we have nothing before decimal, we should write a 0. So it is 0.09. Now 900th means 9 parts out of 100 equal parts, for which we have divided a square into 100 equal parts, out of which 9 parts are shaded, which is representing 900. Now the remaining part is for you for practice. Please try and do these questions on your own